Hey everyone, I hope I'm doing this presentation right. Today I'm going to kind of describe to you my differentiation assignment and kind of where I chose to implement it. I'm a special education teacher and I teach specifically in our cluster program at Sioux Falls, Washington. And that's the program that deals with the severely developmentally disabled students, the cognitively impaired, and just a lot of different disabilities that are going on in the classroom. So pretty much everything we do every single day has to be differentiated just because the learning styles, the needs are so dramatic and different at the same time. So we really have to focus on doing things that's going to meet the needs of all the students. So what I did, I chose to do it in a math setting throughout the day, and the average learning experience for the student is at a very, very slow pace. It's at a very, very low level, and we're just trying to build consistency every day and trying to see small incremental amounts of progress every day because these students just they need repetition, they need drill, and they need stuff that's not going to frustrate them or overwhelm them because that happens very easily. So what I chose to do was choose two students that had different modes of learning. One was a visual learner and one's a tactile learner. The visual learner is capable of seeing materials on the board, seeing the smart board easily, seeing things that are set out in front of him or her, and they're able to recognize them. And the other student, the tactile learner, visually can't see, visually can't, when you're telling him or her something, they just can't understand what you're saying because they can't see it. They need to be doing stuff with their hands. They need to be actually feeling it, knowing what they're doing, and able to be able to count something or to be able to recognize an amount. So it's every student in the classroom has a different mode of learning, and this is kind of just two examples that I chose to show throughout this assignment. Um, it's hard, especially in the assignment, when you have to try to adhere the lesson to the Common Core state standards, because as I kind of showed in my lesson, we're supposed to have these standards done at a sophomore level or a junior level or a freshman level standard that these students are, or the age that these students are, but it's just not realistic to do because we're still trying to work basic units of math, being able to count consistently from 0 to 20, being able to recognize color and put them into different patterns, and being able to put them in different groups, and having the standards that the state has in the freshman and sophomore level just isn't applicable to these students. And we've talked to our administration about that, and we've tried to get them to recognize it, and they do. It's something in my lesson I tried to state clearly, but I hope that it's okay that I did choose some more applicable standards from like a kindergarten or first grade level, just because it's realistic and it's what we're dealing with every single day. And you can't fake it or go about it any other way. It's just the level that they're at. So what I did in this lesson was I had different stations set up. It's our Tuesday and Thursday activity in the cluster program. We have three EAs or educational assistants in the classroom with us, and I also co-teach the class too. And we have different stations set up throughout the room, and they differ every week a little bit, but the students still know that Tuesday, Thursdays are our station settings. I saw that one of the examples that was put onto D12 was kind of similar, except our students are older and they have severe disabilities. But it was kind of cool to see some of the stuff that the lesson from the example had on D2L too, because it's stuff that we can maybe use in our class as well, in our math setting. But these students are rotated throughout the class period. They have to do different activities. The main technology that we use in the class is the smartboard. Every day we try to utilize it. The students love it. The students that are able to get up and physically walk up to the board and use it, they love doing it. And also the students in the wheelchair, I tried to depict in the lesson that I wrote. We have it's kind of like a go-go gadget arm that they use, that they can point up to the smartboard and pick out different things. And they love being able to do that. Even if we are prompting it, we are kind of pointing it in the right direction, they still think, or in their minds, they're doing it themselves. So it's kind of cool to get them interacting and get them up and doing stuff. But the smartboard, there's so many different things that we can use the smartboard for, that we just love doing. There's so many smart lessons. There's so many smart notebook things that we use throughout the day. And in the lesson that I did, the timeline, we did a counting activity, We did a comparing greater than, less than activity where we just had different objects, whether it be animals, whether it be just or numbers, or whether they be just random like clothespins or different things that we could find on the internet. We just had them group them, find which one had more or less, and then they were able to tell us. All these activities are very, very simple, and they have to be because these students need basic, and they need the essential counting, the essential number recognition, money skills, all those essential things. But at the same time, it's was perfect for this lesson because differentiation is all it is, and it's hard to really um, tell it through a lesson plan. It's more so you have to experience it because every student in that classroom has such severe needs, has such different needs, enable them to learn. And this station process that we do of sending them through and rotating them through all different activities, whether they get to actually do it with their hands and count out different things, or whether they get to see something on the smart board and recognize greater than, less than, or recognize a number and trace it and write it down on their sheets. It just there's tons of different things we can get through in a 45-minute class period, and it really helped us to be able to meet the needs of all these students. So I hope that kind of depict or kind of was able to tell you what I was kind of going for in this lesson plan activity. I know there's things I probably could have said differently or written out differently, but it's one of those things that you just have to really experience and see the needs of these students and recognize how difficult it is. And I hope that we're doing some good with it. So if you guys have any comments or any questions that you have for me, please let me know. Looking forward to getting some feedback, and have a good rest of the semester and Christmas break.